Welcome to Sacred Earth Journey Roundtable. We have had some of the most amazing guests on the show, and we are just really learning so much about cultural stewardship, what it means to be a good global neighbor, and gaining better understanding while we stay curious about those who come from different backgrounds than our own. At Sacred Earth Journey, we travel the world unfiltered, where strangers become tribe and global peace begins at kitchen tables. If you have not yet checked out my latest book, Daughter of Many Tribes, A Sacred Earth Journey, you can get that on Amazon, Barnes& and Noble, Walmart, and all kinds of other places, as well as sacredearthjourney.com. That really is the bones of how Sacred Earth Journey was created and why it was created, because of a very deeply transformative experience that I have encountered through immersive travel, because I was indoctrinated, trained, and taught to believe certain things about people groups that were instantly shattered the moment I stepped foot on foreign soil and started immersing myself within other cultures that were different than my own. So check that book out. Please like, subscribe, share, all the silly things. So today I have an amazing guest with me, and Afghanistan is very near and dear to my heart. When Kabul fell, a former colleague had reached out requesting help with the evacuation requests and things like this, and I immediately absolutely said yes. And so for the last 4 or 5 years have been working in humanitarian crisis response work, and had developed so many just tight-knit, strong, cohesive teams. And our team alone was able to rescue over 1,300 individuals from the Taliban regime in Afghanistan. We've operated in Afghanistan, Pakistan, Iran, Syria, Iraq, and other places. And the work is phenomenal. Many of the people that we were rescuing were military individuals who worked alongside U.S. coalition forces. Many of them were soldiers, many of them were interpreters. So today, without further ado, I have a great friend of mine, a new friend of mine, Yaser, and I'm going to let Yaser introduce himself. But before you do, Yaser, I do want to tell you that there is somewhat of a challenge that has been presented to you. All of my former guests, when they come on the show, what has happened is oftentimes the guest will say something very poignant, something that just stands out for everyone. And it turns into a Guest Legacy Voices merchandise, that when that merchandise is sold, a percentage of that will go to that guest speaker's nonprofit of choice or to their own nonprofit. And we have had things like Dr. Jared Sorber, who said, stay curious. We had Mahmoud Ansha from Jordan, who said, get uncomfortable. We have Midhat Zwayan from Iraq, who said, trust is slow. And then we also have John Jackson, former Army Ranger veteran. Maybe you guys know each other. And he has founded Comfort Farms out in Georgia. And he said, respect the flavors, and together our differences make us extraordinary. These phrases have been put on shirts and other merchandise, coffee mugs, and things like this. So who knows? Be listening to Yaser closely, and maybe his words are going to get put on some merchandise, and maybe some of those profits will go to his organization or something that he wants to support. Yaser, assalamu alaikum. Kif hal?
Wa alaikum salam, and thank you so much for having me here today. And
absolutely.
Yeah,
give us go ahead.
Yeah, you said introduce yourself. Do you want me to go ahead and introduce myself?
Yeah, just give us a very brief background. Who is Yaser? Why are you here today?
Yeah. Yeah, Yaser. My name is Muhammad Yaser Yarghal. I born in southeastern of Afghanistan. It's close by to Pakistan border. I born in the before previous Taliban regime, and I grew up in that era. And then 2001, the NATO arrived to Afghanistan, and then the schools and all these opportunities opened up, and we start studying. Went to military academy after my high school, and then become the least like become a major in the army. Was running a company commanding in Afghanistan.
And I think you have a book coming out soon, yes?
Oh yes, my book is Unsabotaged, and it will be coming up in January 1st. That is the my whole journey will be in that book, from my birth till now. Everything will be there.
Wow. I cannot wait to read it. We may have to have you back on after the book is released.
Yeah, that would be nice. Thank you.
Maybe you can share just like what is your favorite part so far of the book? Like if somebody only had for some reason time to read like one page, like what is that page about? What chapter can they find it in?
For so far, I have not edited all of the book, but for so far, the outstanding part of my book is chapter 4. And in chapter 4, I was studying in Kabul, and it was my family financial situation was not very outstanding on that time, and so Fridays, when we have the weekends off, we will go to labor work outside of the high school, which
Wow.
I was living in a dormitory in Kabul. It was grade 12, and my dad was pharmacist in Host province, like in the he was living in Host, like it's far from Kabul, and he sent me some coins, like two Afghani, one Afghani, like it was around maybe 1,000 Afghani. He collected in his pharmacy, and he sent it in a bag together, and he gave it to his friends' sons, and they come to our dormitory, but me and one of my other friends, we were out for labor work that day. It was Friday, and those guys were waiting for us, and they were from our village, and we were kind of doing the labor work to not to be public. Nobody, it was just
Oh.
we were doing it hidden, like nobody know that we are working outside on Fridays. So yeah, like it was we were young, we were kind of feeling like, oh, we does not have enough money to support ourselves
Yeah.
properly, right? So we were
Yeah.
hiding that part of us. And then I does not have a mobile phone in that time. My friend does, and he got a phone call from my roommate. They said Yaser has some guest waiting for him in here. Tell him to come. And then I was concerned, like especially that those people were from our village,
Yeah.
and
You,
they
you
were,
were thinking you were going to get bad news or something.
yeah. So they were, no. I was thinking like
Oh,
if they realize that I was for labor work, that will be not good on my family and my dad, and everybody will be feeling like I'm not in very good condition. So
got
I,
you. Okay.
yes. So I came to the dormitory because I was supposed to come because they were waiting for me. And then the friends who was working with me, he was with me, and he said, "You stay here. I'm gonna bring some water. We don't have any luxury washroom or shower in our school, so he said he's gonna bring some water for me, and I will wash my face, my hands, and everything, and change my clothes." He said he will bring clothes as well from my room. So I was waiting outside, and he brought all these things. He get it from someone, I don't know. Like he probably called someone to the room, and brought the water and the clothes. So by that time, when I was coming back, those guys were left, and they left the coins with my friends. And I was happy, actually. I was thinking like, that's good, they're gone. But that is a story that is for right now it's outstanding in the book, but there are a lot of other good stories.
So, like, just for people who don't know about the difference in currency value and things like this, what did those two coins mean for you?
So those coins were, as I said, these were like one, two, like the metal coins. They
Okay.
collected it. It's 1,000 Afghani, and in total that will be like if we say it in dollar, it will be around $5. That's it.
But in Kabul, this is
Yeah.
going to go a long way.
And the other thing, my dad wanted me to use those for bus. So you can go to courses, like you will use those coins for bus going to
Yeah,
course, like whatever you're going.
yeah,
So you can use it for buses. I was not using bike, so he sent me those coins to use it for bus.
yeah. It's
It's a-
interesting because when you were talking about, if people knew, if it got out that you were doing some labor work on the side, that this would look bad on your family. But here in the West, in America, and maybe probably Canada and probably places in Europe as well, it would actually be the reverse. It would be like, oh, they are working to help and raise the money and earn a living and things like this. And it wouldn't be so much of like a negative impact on the family's name or reputation, but it's in the reverse in a lot of the Middle Eastern countries. And so I find that very interesting.
It is, and also it should be over there too. Maybe a lot of people have this type of like some people respect me because of that too. Over there too, they were thinking like you're trying your best, and but like in my age, people like when I was in that age, and the people that they were in my age, for those they will not be able to understand what it is, like how important it is or not.
Yeah.
Even maybe I was not understanding what I'm doing. Actually, I was thinking like probably this is a negative thing, but it is not. If I go back now, I will do it, no problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so cool. So you served your country, with distinction, and you rose to the rank of major, and then you watched your homeland, Afghanistan, collapse almost overnight. Um, what parts of your identity survived that? And then what parts did you or are you having to rebuild, especially not living there anymore?
Um, so for that collapse, I understand that it may not stay longer. The Afghanistan situation was getting worse when American uh, or NATO announced that they are working on an agreement with Taliban, and they probably withdraw from Afghanistan. It was 2020. They were working on it 2020, but these things were started from 2014, I believe, when the Doha Taliban office opened there. From that time, we were hoping for like we were not hoping that it's gonna collapse, but in 2020 it was clear that if NATO forces get out from Afghanistan, um, the government itself will not be able to sustain and to keep their institution or their government running. Before that, we were hoping that hopefully, and everybody wanted because everybody wants to. I believe it's the human nature. Everybody wants to run their own country by their own people, right? And nobody were hoping for like to for NATO to be staying forever, but the plan does not work, and the NATO rush out and like going out from Afghanistan. so it make it worse. So I understand from 2020 that that maybe the government will not be staying for too long. Even if it is, it will be civil war, and nobody were going to put any effort in civil war. So and that's why it collapsed. Like most of the
Yeah.
people who were working for the government, they were not there to fight their own people, so that's why it collapsed right away. So and for rebuilding, I don't believe that. Yeah, so before, my identity was to be an army officer and working in Afghanistan, and I work very hard for it,
Yeah.
to be able to be a qualified and well-trained officer in the army. Mm, and to be able um, to give as much as I can to my country. Uh, but when I saw all these things are folding up in 2020, I decided to stop.
Mm.
So I gave up on it in October. It was October 2020 that I completely take up my uniform and left
Wow.
the country. Yeah.
What did you emotionally for you? Because, like you said, you put so much into this, and this chapter of your life was abruptly ending. And likely you may have felt like it was ending unfairly. What was going through your mind and your heart at this time when you chose to step away?
This is the most difficult thing, that when you put whatever you have and put that in your, like, in your effort, and finally decide that it will not work, and you're gonna step away. This was a very difficult decision, and I did that decision twice. I decided in 2018. I was facing with some challenges inside the institution, and then in 2020. So in 2018, I was thinking that I'm gonna protest against the institution and go to media and talk about it. And my family does not allow me. They said this is not something you should do. Even some of my family member and friends who were in the army, they told me that as everybody else, they said, just stay there and keep your job. You don't be worried about these things.
Yeah.
You are not only one that facing with these challenges. So I resigned in 2018, and then I was asked to come back. They said everything will be in your favor after that, but I came back, and then I continue working there. And 2020, I was in a Brussels conference in NATO headquarters, and I heard some stuff that I realized that mm, that is not gonna go forward properly. And
Wow.
then when I go back to Afghanistan, I saw the situation. I will, because the plan was, the NATO plan was to keep the army in the relationship with the Afghan government and keep the governments
Mm.
running while they're talking with Taliban and they work together. That's what they
Yeah.
were hoping for.
Yeah.
But and I was hoping for that too. I was thinking like we can all work together. Will that be nice? It's okay. I don't care
Yeah.
who is the boss, but as long as the country is safe and everybody's working together, it's good.
Yeah.
And when I go back to Afghanistan, in Afghanistan, I faced with some internal challenges that the people who were working, we were working together. I see some internal betrayal, and
Oh,
that's,
wow.
yeah, that's why I decided to not waste any more energy. And that was my last. Like I never thought that I will be continuing working in the army after that. So I take everything off. Doesn't matter who will call me back. Doesn't matter who will tell me to come back. I will not be working in that
Mm.
government. So I left it up right there.
When, what year did you leave Afghanistan?
2020 October, 8 or 9 months before the collapse.
Wow. So, I mean, you really had some foreknowledge and insight of
Hmm.
what was to come, and you were able to, when you started seeing the headlines and you started hearing from friends and family when after the withdrawal, the disastrous withdrawal, and everything that ensued after that, what was the first thing that came to your mind?
So after disaster, the very worst thing that I felt, my brother was in the army as well. He was working in the army, and he sent me a photo from his unit. They line up all those. They lay out all the equipment in the ground, and they have an accountability for a very young age Taliban member, one person, and they were all like all those officers and soldiers were supposed to uh, like it maybe not supposed to. He can go out from the unit and leave everything there, but they were worried that someone gonna ask us after. They're gonna ask us where are all those equipment and or whatever they were that you guys were responsible for it. Give us a list. So for that responsibility, they had just one guy standing there, and my brother was sending me the video on that day.
Mhm.
I was in construction job site, and he was telling me that this guy is here, and we, all of us, we just giving all the tools and whatever in the barracks and the computers and whatever it is, we giving it to this guy and we leaving. So that was the very painful
Wow.
day for me, and I was concerned about two things: about my brother, what's gonna happen to him, because it was uncertainty. Nobody know what's going to happen. And
Yeah.
second, the feeling that I was putting myself in his position.
Mhm.
I was feeling if that was me, how that gonna be feeling when
Yeah.
you were officer, you had the control and everything. And one, even the person who were there, he does not have anything in his hand or anything like weapons or anything. Just simple guy coming
Yeah.
from a madrasa, madrasa, from a,
Absolutely. Yeah.
yeah,
School. Yeah.
yeah, religious school. And he introduced himself. It was in Kabul.
Mhm.
He introduced himself from one of the Taliban member or whoever, and they opened the gate for him, and he said, "I'm here to have accountability with you guys." And
Wow.
that was I probably that was the most mm, uh, painful image that I had from there.
Mm. Wow. So, you know, so many people only know Afghanistan through war headlines. If I could walk through your childhood village for just one day, what would you hope that I would notice that the world has largely missed about your village in Afghanistan?
It depends on which era do you talking are you talking about right now,
No, no,
before.
no. Your from your childhood.
Oh, from my childhood.
Yeah,
If
if I could walk through your village during your childhood, like what's the thing that you would want the world to be able to see and witness?
Um, if you go in my era to my childhood, you will definitely not think that I'm sitting here talking to you. That will be first thing. Second, you will not feel that school will have a chair that you can sit on, and it will have a whiteboard you can write on it. You will not feel that every child can afford a notebook and a pencil, and you will see that a lot of children does not have time to go to
Mm.
school, and they're working in their daily housework. Some of them they're grazing animals. Some of them they're collecting fireworks. Some of them they're working in the farms.
Mm.
Um,
When at what age did you start working like this?
my age when I start working, I believe it will be age 8 or 7. That's what
Wow.
my age was. Yeah.
What was your favorite thing as a child? Like what's one of your favorite memories as a child?
My favorite memory as a child will be if my dad took me somewhere when he's going to shopping. Like he usually not go to shopping, right? Like after 1 month, he will go somewhere, like and travel in a car or something. And I will love to go with him. And there will be a fight when he's going. Like we will be have 3 4 people, and everybody wants to go with him, and he can take just one person. And
Oh wow.
we had our own policy for it. So one time one person go, next time he can't go, so the next person will be the next time.
Yeah. Oh
uh
my
and-
goodness.
yeah, so that was our, because we were living in the urban area. You can't see too many people, and you cannot have like downtown or something to see everything. We will love to go outside and look and see how people are and how they deal
Okay.
with life. Yeah.
So where you grew up was more like farmland?
Yeah. So where I'm living, it is a farmland in its urban area.
Okay.
Mhm.
So, a lot of people when they hear about Afghanistan and they hear about Afghans, they have this idea in their mind of Taliban,
Mhm.
terrorism, war, uh, gross humanitarian rights violations, especially against women and girls. What is what is something that you want people who've never had the opportunity and likely never will to actually go to Afghanistan? What makes you similar to the rest of the world? Like, do you know what I mean? So people hear these things, but they haven't actually experienced Afghanistan. Surely there's instability and there's problems, otherwise people wouldn't have been leaving. But as an individual human being, what would you like the world to know about Afghans, about you being an Afghan? Like, what does that mean?
Afghanistan is Taliban is different. Afghanistan is different. NATO is different. Russia is different, and Afghanistan is different. So this is totally all those different things. When NATO come, Taliban will say because Afghans are not good because NATO there. Okay, when Taliban come, NATO will say, oh, it's not good because Taliban are there, or not Taliban like Afghans or Taliban, right? And then when Russia come, everybody will say, okay, that these are communist, these are not Afghan, or Afghan or communist, right? So these are not these peoples. No, nobody can define Afghan. Afghans are different people, and all these things coming to them. Not they're not going behind them, and they're not supporting any of these ideas. And Taliban does not represent Afghanistan. Afghanistan is completely different, and the peoples are completely different. The only thing they does not have control over own whatever they have.
Yeah.
And what I would say, what you asked me about the people to world know about it. Afghan people, they are very hospitalized people. It is very famous. If I remember, I was a child. We had a person traveling through our village. He was speaking Persian. Persian is, or Dari is,
Yeah.
Afghan language, and they're Afghanistan people. But we were child, we were not able to speak Persian, and that guy was speaking different language, and it was very funny for us. And we were trying to bother him, talk to him, and bother him. Okay,
Yeah.
and the elders of the our town, they punished us. They told us, like, you guys has to be respectful, you cannot do that.
Yeah.
You don't know their language, just leave him alone. Why you're talking to him? Just leave him. If he doesn't want to talk to you, don't talk to him.
Yeah.
It people's like, it is not about where you're coming from. It is not about, you go right now to Afghanistan, somewhere, land in some village, nobody will know you. You will never stay outside. They will take you, like,
Right.
they will everybody will hold you from your hand and tell you, like, you go with me. And another guy will
Yeah.
say, you go with me.
Yeah.
They will respect you. They will prepare the best food they can afford. And they will never, even if someone trying to bother you, they will not allow anybody to bother you. And it happened to NATO forces. There are documentaries that it's
Yeah.
showing, even soldiers, they were taken care of by
Yeah.
Afghans, and it's just because part of culture.
Right.
And it is also the same to our own people as well. Like, if there is a person who is not strong enough, or who is
Mhm.
not capable of taking care of him, like, security and safety, there are elders in the village that they will be watching over them, and you cannot look down to them. They
Yeah.
will be taken responsible if you do anything like that. So it is not about the government, and we usually government does not provide everything in Afghanistan
Yeah.
like it does in Western countries.
Right.
And the peoples are responsible. Like, let's say right now women cannot go to work. What does government do for it? Okay, they just ban them from work, right? That was government. But what people will do, people will take care of them. They will tell them,
Wow.
yeah, you don't go to work, it's okay, still don't worry about your kids. One person will bring food the night, another person will give some money, another person will give some rice or something like that. So that's Afghan people. The other is not Afghan people who doing the wrong things.
That
And
is so beautiful. And this is one of the things that, one of the very first things that I learned that was just annihilated it. I was taught certain things and trained in certain ways to believe about a lot of Middle Eastern people and places. And one of the very first experiences I've had was the hospitality. And I remember being in Iraq and complete strangers just welcoming me into their home, providing the food and the tea and all the things, and just introducing me to their family, and just absolutely feeling as though they now saw me as part of the family. I think it's also a couple of points. Number one, I love how you said that the Taliban does not represent Afghanistan, does not represent Afghans. And I also find it extremely beautiful because this is another misconception that was greatly just destroyed. And that is how men view women. Because I was taught, and I know that a lot of people in the West are taught, that many Middle Eastern countries and Muslims specifically do not respect women. And I was trained to believe this and all the things. But very early on in my travels, I noticed and learned that couldn't be further from the truth. Now, are there people who are disrespectful and mistreat women? Sure, of course, but that is not that is not the whole. That is not the largest percentage of the populations. What I personally witnessed, and I've been to many Middle Eastern countries, I've been and stayed in Middle Eastern countries, and just like what you're talking about, okay, the Taliban, which is not representative of Afghans, is banning the women from the work. But then the village comes in, the people come in, and they're saying, okay, you may ban the women from work, but now we are taking the honor and responsibility, and we are going to protect them and provide for them, and like this. This is beautiful.
Yeah. And even that happened to Taliban themselves. Taliban was okay. They were struggling. They
Yeah.
were somewhere in the cave, and people take care of them. They give food. They like that's the Afghan people. That's
100%. And our team witnessed this many
yeah,
times. And it's, we actually, so some of the people that we were serving and helping, they had farms, they had markets and whatnot, and Taliban needed things. And
yeah,
so they would provide protection for these people so that they could in turn receive the things. And so it's just a completely different system. And it's so difficult to make categorical assumptions about people groups and places and cultures if you haven't actually experienced it. And do you think that there will ever be an effective solid governing body for Afghanistan? How do you feel about the future and the hope for Afghanistan?
I believe. I believe there will be there will be changing. I believe in change. It will be changing. That's what I believe in it. But hoping for the government, coming government, I don't know because who is gonna be coming? You don't know. Nobody know.
Yeah.
And what I personally thinking and hoping for that people or the governments or whoever running the power right now, they will understand the Afghan people and they will align themselves to the demand of the people. So we are not every time hoping for new things.
Yeah.
That's my hope. I'm not hoping for like a civil war. I'm not hoping for another conflict in Afghanistan. I'm not hoping for another NATO in Afghanistan. I'm not hoping for another Russia in Afghanistan.
Yeah.
What I'm hoping is whoever in the power, and I wish that was the same in the previous government. They were taking that responsibility and
Mm.
they were bringing all those Afghan groups together and they
Yeah.
were creating a good government. But their time is over. Now, Taliban's are in power. You,
Yeah.
you accept it or not, they are in power. And I'm hoping that they will understand and they will answer the Afghan questions and demands, open the
Yeah.
girls' schools, or leave the women to go to work and respect the
Yeah.
women and create a uh, um, environment that there is no harassment, no worry for women to go outside work. They can
Yeah.
do that if they want to, but this I don't believe this is the case. They
Yeah.
want it. They does not want it. That's all. And probably not probably, as I said about everybody, I'm saying about Taliban, and I'm saying about everybody else. They are not Afghans, and they're not coming from Afghan society,
Mm.
and that's why their rules are different. We never had women's to be not working. My I
Right.
remember, I remember my mom. in the urban area. Okay, she was having around maybe 20 to 30 cows. Is that not,
Wow.
is that not work? This is work. This is business. Who said that
Yeah.
it's not business? She was illiterate, but she was running a big business. She was selling ghee, yogurt. We were not selling yogurt, but I will just say it, the Western countries, people will think like, oh, okay, so what you do,
Yeah.
30 cows. So we had yogurts and we giving it to people, like to our neighbors. Believe it or not, we never had time that we cannot give a yogurt to people. Like every
Wow.
morning they come, they take milk for free. They take yogurt. We just had limit for it, how much we can make another stuff from it, like ghee or
Yeah.
some other products. But we will give portion of it for people who need it, like some people
Yeah.
cannot afford to have a cow. And that's my mom's story, but this is a
Wow.
Taliban mom doing the same thing. This is a Taliban mom were doing the same exact thing, and previous Afghan
Yeah.
government leadership were doing the same thing. I was talking with one translator, interpreter in Afghanistan. He was talking about one of the senior leader of Afghan government. He was telling me that that senior leader, dad and his mom, both, they were working in their house keeping animals.
Wow.
So this is not something like just for me. I'm saying that that's for me. Everybody,
Yeah.
whoever say that I'm not doing it, they just hiding it. It's not like everybody doing the same exact
Yeah.
thing. What are you gonna do in Afghanistan? You does not have a production car factory to produce cars, motorcycle, or what something
Yeah.
else, right? So that's what people do.
You mentioned something that you said that the Taliban is not Afghans. They're coming in from other places. And Afghanistan has experienced this with Russia and various people coming in trying to run the country. If real genuine Afghans had the opportunity to build a government and to run its own land, what do you envision that would look like?
If Afghan independently run their own country, that will be back 19 let's say 1970, go to 1970, or maybe back behind that, 1960, and we were running that government, and we were running it very, very extraordinary. You can go check videos. Everybody can go check the
Yeah.
videos those years how we were running it, and it will be lining up with the same with modern world, and it will be ahead of, I'm pretty sure. We are very competitive, like we are, Afghans are very competitive people, I
Very
say.
much.
Yeah, Afghans, let's say Taliban. If I say Talibans are not Afghan, I can prove that they are not, just because their dad was Afghan, okay? Their brothers are Afghans. Their family members are Afghans. But those who say that I'm Talib, they are not Afghan. They have not grown with their families.
Mm,
They left their houses
yeah.
in very young age. They grew up in madrasa. Their mentality is completely, they have no idea how to create a business or create a work environment to provide
Mm,
food to your kids, to your mom and your, they does not take responsibility. they are
Yeah.
not used to, because they were
Wow.
gone from very young age, and they grew up with in places no responsibility or no accountability they're facing with. And that's why they does not know the importance of work. They does not feel it. If you
Mm.
does not know what your children will be eating, if you does
Yeah.
not know um, where you have to, like, they were fed by other people. They were, so like, other people will
Yeah.
bring food to madrasa, to school, and they will just serve it. And that's how they're doing it right now. Now it's this, they're served by the government, whatever the government has or had. They're using the tax money or whatever in Afghanistan they
Wow.
collecting, they're using that. They does not have any business. You will never see any talib in 100, maybe 10%, but the rest of it, they does not have any idea how to make money, or
Wow.
how to create jobs. They does not have no idea about those things.
Why are the boys, why are they being put in the schools at such a early age at the madrasas? What's happening there? Like, why are they ending up in these schools? And the Taliban are running the schools, yeah, the madrasas.
Everybody hoping for their kids to be educated, and everybody hoping that they will be lining up with the religions they following, their dad following and their mom following it.
Mm-hmm.
And it is in all Afghans and everybody, and maybe in the world, they hope for their children to be educated people. So
Yeah.
the time that these people were sent to those madrasa, we does not had schools on that time. That was the time that I was r- born and was growing up. So the dads does not had any other option. They had the opportunity to be able to send those kids to madrasa.
Okay.
So they were hoping that they will become religiously good people, and
Mm.
also they will be educated, but it was taken for political purposes in the other
Wow.
side of the border.
Wow. That's just, it's heartbreaking, especially I cannot imagine as a parent sending your child off to school thinking and hoping that they're going to get this great benefit and all the things, and then on the other side something else is actually taking place in the school, this, and then when they realize this, I can imagine how disappointed and uh, brokenhearted the parents must be.
And another thing, in those people, so in before they create a government before too, right? So there were some people that they were trained properly. Even in those madrasa, they were trained properly. They had the knowledge they needed for the religious thing. Those people cannot be used in any other things. I will clear that. They can be used just for religious teaching and like Quran and Sharia, all those things. But they have no experience and no knowledge of any other work. Maybe one or two, they will just learn it from their other brothers, their family
Wow.
members, but the rest of it, they were just religious people, and they
Mm.
were good people as well. But there was maybe 10% of those people were taken politically connected to other
Yeah.
groups. And those groups, when they take 10% for those vision, whatever vision they have for them, and then
Yeah.
the rest of it will follow those 10%, because those 10% are the people that they're going to be going to the leadership.
Yeah.
And the other, they cannot afford leadership because it's difficult. You have to have time for it, you have to have energy for it, and you have to have support for it. And then the
Yeah.
rest of it, they will just follow whatever their leader decide, and that leader
Mm.
is connected to the very wrong place.
Wow. Yeah. It's such an intricate dynamic that I feel like most people outside of the region just really don't have an idea of how complex the situation is in Afghanistan alone, but in the entire region. There's just so many different things at play. And it's, at the end of the day, the average person just wants to be safe. They want to be able to eat. They want shelter. They want good future for their kids. And when you were born in an environment that you didn't choose to be born in, you have to work the system to get those things,
Yeah.
and so coming back again to, the Taliban does not represent Afghans. And I think this is extremely important. And it's not just in Afghanistan, this is in all over the world. A government does not represent the people.
No.
And we have to remember this important fact. Did you want to add something?
No. 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 I agree with
Okay.
you. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, when was the last time someone truly surprised you by seeing you um, as just a human being rather than an Afghan?
Um, we were working in everywhere I go. I don't think I was somewhere I was feeling that I'm not included. Okay, usually I
Nice.
welcome for some reason people. When I talk to them and I have a conversation with them, they like me. But when I was in training in US, I was taken serious, and they believe in me. Some of the leadership, they believe in me, and then I was thinking, okay, mm, I'm important. Okay. Yeah, so that and another places we go, like even though you have a good idea, you have an opinion, and you have a talent, people that just not confirm it, they just saying, yeah, I know that from before, they will say, or I this is not new thing. But I was taken serious, and I was surprised how I was treated in my training in America.
Why were you surprised?
I was surprised just because I never see that ability in too many people. They were like, as soon as they see some like, how it work, right? Leadership is all about who is leading, who is in the top. Okay, if someone's scared, or if you have a weaker leader, they will never support you. That's very
Right.
clear. I think science know everything, know everybody know about that. If you
Yeah.
have a very strong leader, they will never be um, threat threatened by you when you show any idea, or you show your talent somewhere. So that's why I was believing that maybe like this is common, like you, whatever you do, it doesn't matter. Everybody will say, okay, I know that from before, don't worry about that. But in US, I saw some people that they were supporting the talent, they were supporting the
Yeah.
effort, and I find some hope there. I said, okay, we are going good direction right now.
That's good. How did that make you feel?
Sorry.
How did that make you feel?
Yeah, I was feeling uh, that was a great feeling, and I was very successful in my training too. Over there,
I think you have such a good personality. Like you seem open-minded, you seem easy to talk to. I think this helps you in a lot of ways. And you seem to show up really just curious. You know what I mean? Like you seem just genuinely curious about other people, about what's going on. And when you show up like that, I think that it just makes room for people to engage with you, and find it easy to get along with you.
Yeah, I think I found that too. Like I deal, I'm running a business here, and I deal with a lot of people. Whenever I face with the good people, like I never saw they told me that we don't need you unless they run out of the work, or unless they does not have any other opportunity for me.
Yeah.
I will leave, or they will not have any more anything for me to deal with me. And wherever I am pushed back, like someone pushed me back, they just have advantage on that point. They just does not want to lose those advantage, and they will say, okay, I don't want you after that. And they stop answering, they stop calling, just because otherwise if I'm connected, they're gonna be accountable for those stuff that we have it in between. The only good thing will be for them just to lose me, but they will have some profit the side.
Ah, yeah.
Um, but yeah, always you will find a lot of good people and bad people everywhere. It's in Afghanistan, in US, in Canada, and wherever you go, you will see good and bad.
That's you are not wrong about that. That is so true. So as we begin to wrap up, I've really enjoyed having you on, by the way. Um, what do you want to share? What's something, do you have anything that you want to share with people, whether it's about Afghanistan, whether it's about just cultural stewardship, how we show up for other people that are different than us? Any ideas that you want to leave the viewers with?
Uh, I would like your viewers and audience to know about my book is coming. It's Unsabotaged, and it's all about leadership, resilience, and it will have very beautiful stories there, I believe. And they will, if they are curious to know more about those struggles, and to know how we move forward in those situations, um, on sabotage will be coming in January in 2027.
I'm so excited about that. I have two more questions for you after you just said those things. Number
Okay.
one, um, anybody who is immigrating to a new country, what's one piece of advice that you would give them? Especially, how about this? Anybody who's immigrating to the United States or to Canada, what is one piece of information or encouragement you would give them, or advice?
My advice for them is, do not think that you are starting over. This is not starting over point. You just use whatever you have already. You came from Afghanistan, or you came from Syria, or you came from Africa. You struggled enough. You know everything. All you need just to use the same exact skills and find the place where you can use them. That's how
Mhm.
you're going to be successful. Otherwise, if you're looking for a new engineering degree, medical university, or something like that, it taking you years and years, you're not going anywhere. Like if you're young age, yes, go to school, learn all those schools, engineering, whatever. If you are coming in somehow, like you're engineer in Syria, you do not need to go to university back again. Just keep that knowledge and keep that
Mhm.
mentality, that hard work, and show up and do some work, and keep that mentality that you're going to use all those math skills, all those
Mhm.
drawing skills, and whatever skills you have, and you will end up to the same exact spot wherever you want to go.
I love that. So you're not starting over, you're just
No.
starting differently. I love that. That's so cool.
Yes.
So here's my last question for you. So you went through Ranger School, yeah?
Hmm.
Okay. And did you go through mountain phase, swamp phase, and all the things?
All of them, yes.
What was your biggest challenge? What was the thing? Because I know, like, uh, some guys are like, swamp phase sucked, and then other guys are like, I can't stand the cold. Mountain phase was horrible. What was your thing? Like, what was your biggest challenge?
Biggest challenge for me was peer evaluation in the very last uh, phase of the Ranger School. Okay, and it is the
Those can be
same.
tough.
It is the simplest thing for others, but maybe for foreigners that is the difficult thing. The peer evaluation was difficult, but overall derby phase was physically demanding and new. It was new, and I was in the toughest company and the derby phase. It depends on which company you assign to. So derby phase, one company will be the very toughest, the two other will be easy one.
Yeah.
Then to the next one, mountain phase, you're gonna be going to the, if you survive the toughest, you're gonna go to the second toughest, like it's gonna lower it down. If you go to the easy one in derby phase, they will send you to the toughest in the mountain phase. It's designed like that.
Yeah.
So for me, derby phase was toughest, and I was thinking like, if it all goes like this, I probably not go forward.
What was it about Derby phase that was so challenging for you? Like, what was the thing that just was it all of it, or like, was there one particular thing that just was so
it,
challenging
we're
for you?
we're all the whole thing was because it was new too, like you just starting, but we're all, when we were watching, like if you make a mistake in Ranger Creed, when you saying it and you make a mistake in Ranger Creed, they will give you 5 mile running, and you will see the other platoon or the other company do the same exact mistake, nobody care. So we were thinking like, why is it like that?
Do you still remember the creed?
A little bit, not too much.
Yeah.
I was a few years before, like I was trying to keep memorize it, but it's I just certain parts I remember, but not completely, because you cannot
Yeah.
keep it all the
That's awesome. Anyway, well, Yasser, it has been such a pleasure having you on, and absolutely looking forward to your book Unsabotaged coming out in January. We will have links, and especially once it is released, I will make sure to add those links to the YouTube video, to the podcast as well. If you want to know more about Yasser, what is the Substack that, or the Reddit that you're, where people can read your articles and things?
I will send you the Substack link to
Okay,
your and you can post it in the link.
perfect. Yeah, so you'll have access to that, and you can read his articles. And that's a wrap for now. And we really appreciate you joining Sacred Earth Journey Roundtable, where we travel the world unfiltered and strangers become tribe, and global peace begins at kitchen tables. Yasser, have a lovely day. Thank you so much for joining us.
You too. Thank you so much, Anna. Have a good day.